This is the Stock Eliminator Final. One of these two drivers will be the 1971 Winternationals champion in stock. The station wagon is Dave Bortman of Michigan. In the left-hand lane is Californian Marv Ripes of Van Nuys. Ripes was the only Californian left after the first round of competition. The handicap being very, very carefully calculated, dialed in for the electronic Christmas tree. Marv Ripes, this will be his second, if he wins it, his second major event victory in a row. He won the Super National in Ontario in November. Both drivers leave green lights. Marv Ripes in the Corvette, trying to get around him, trying very hard, but I don't think he can do it. Bortman in the Tower Lane is your 1971 Winternationals Stock Eliminator champion. 12.91 seconds elapsed time. It appeared for a moment as if Ripes was going to catch him right here in the replay, and then it looks like the car might have faltered a little bit. The engine might have stumbled because he made up no further ground, and there's the win. The Rod Shop Dodge from Columbus, Ohio, Dave Bortman from Muskegon, Michigan.
His time was 12.9 and his speed 105 miles an hour to win the Stock Eliminator title.
We were talking earlier how very few men have ever won two Winternationals. They've never done it in Top Fuel or Funny Car or in Pro Stock. Well, here, burning out in his Super Stock H Mustang is Barry Poole of Chatham, Ontario, Canada. He is the defending champion in Super Stock Eliminator. He could make it two in a row. They'll really abuse their equipment for these final runs, and it's well worth it. The Stock Eliminator champion here, with contingency money, can make as much as $7,000. And Jim Clark hopes to go home and break that happy word to his family. Jim Clark's Hemi Express Dodge of Baldwin Park, California. So it's a Canadian versus a Californian. You see the tires wrinkling up. They have only as much air pressure as they possibly need. The tires wanting to spin right off of the rims. In fact, there's screws through the steel rims to hold the tires on the wheels. The final in Super Stock Eliminator. Handicap advantage to the Canadian in the Mustang. Jim Clark, still smoke coming from beneath the car, but it doesn't seem to hurt his performance. Clark, we couldn't call it. Let's see it. He did not drive around him. The Canadian, Barry Poole, is your winner in a Ford Mustang. We'll take a look at this one again also. Boy, this is some close competition, Tom.
That was a race, as this replay will show. Right here as they come to the finish. Boy.
If there had been another 10 feet and a quarter of a mile, I think your Winternationals champion would be Jim Clark. But it's not. It's Barry Poole.
His speed was 121.62 miles an hour. His elapsed time, 11:28.
There are only 12 machines remaining in this 1971 Winternational. These are all final runs. The first car out for the final in modified eliminator is the California Flash, as he's known, Butch Lill of Tulare, California. He is driving for Don Grothier of Oklahoma City. The competition will be a man well familiar with the winner's circle, Carroll Cottle, Amarillo, Texas. Cottle's 55 Chevrolet will have about a day and a half head start, Tom. This Grothier is the much quicker car. Here is Butch Lill, one of the most talented Pro Stock drivers. He's preparing a new car for his own use. Didn't have it ready in time for the Winternationals, and fortunately picked up this ride with Don Grothier. Here we see the tree come down. Quite a handicap, about 2 seconds, and that's a long, long time. Butch Lill moving after Carroll Cottle, the Texan holding on. You know he's looking in the rearview mirror. Here comes Butch, the Texan, Carroll Cottle, the winner of Modified Eliminator.
Butch kept signaling for a left turn as he was going down the straightaway.
And again, we'll replay it. I don't think I've seen closer races consistently in final runs at any event. And look at this, Butch Lill going about 30 miles an hour faster, but it's not enough. We've seen it several times today. We've seen it clock the quickest elapsed time ever for a car of this type, Don Enriquez. And Enriquez also won the Super Nationals in November. Our Super Nationals winners, even though they're getting into the finals here at Pomona, are having a hard time making it 2 in a row. Gene Adams with the baseball cap on, wiping down that tire, and he says, "Flog it out, Don." And here's Steve Woods, the competition from Fremont, California. The national record holder in the Double B gas supercharged class, Steve and Rhonda Woods. Supercharged Chrysler, a 4-door prefix body. And this will be a long, long handicap. Steve Woods will be almost at the 1/8 of a mile before Enriquez is allowed to leave.
They were showing the handicap to the two drivers there, and apparently, Steve, they both agree that's what it should be.
The pre-staging lights are lit. Enriquez is staged. Woods is staged. Starter Buster Couch triggers the Christmas tree. A green light for Steve Woods. A green light for Don Enriquez. And watch this fuel-burning Chrysler move in the mid-range. Look at that.
Boy, did he come. Whoa.
Don Enriquez. 7.34 seconds. Steve Woods just about got his doors blown off when Don Enriquez came around him. Incredible performance, Adams and Enriquez.
199.11 miles per hour. And in that last 1/8 of a mile, Enriquez really turned it on.
That the 8 eliminators will win. The figure you see with a helmet under his arm and the wide drag racing slick balanced beside him. An outstanding trophy. I think a little more unique and a little more meaningful than just the average cup. And the other trophies, that's typical of Class 1 awards and special awards. And here's our top gas final moving down. One of these trophies will belong to one of these gentlemen. Will it be Walt Stevens? Here, driving the odd couple from Van Nuys, California. The Chevrolet engine is forward, the Chrysler is aft. We don't see any competition coming down for Walt Stevens. Where is Bill Mullins? Evidently, Mullins not able to make the call.
That's a bitter blow.
Oh, the twin-engine car from Birmingham, Alabama.
Qualify for the finals and unable to get there.
This is one of the few times that we've had a single run for the finale in an eliminator. Walt Stevens, you know he's just grinning from ear to ear behind that aluminum mask. He's also about $6,000 rich. And there he is with a V signal up in the air at 190 miles an hour. Walt Stevens, your 1971 Top Gas champ.
We'll get his time and speed.
Stevens was taking it easy. He had his hand up in the air. He had won the event. 8:25 for a car that has been running 740s and 750s.
That's quite a lady.
Race drivers seem to have foxy wives for some reason. This is Lynette Schartman, if anybody cares.
Our coverage of the Winter Nationals here in Pomona continues now with the Pro Stock competition coming up next. The official announcing voice for the NHRA, Steve Evans, will bring you up to date with all the expertise. Steve, the Pro Stock competition offers some mighty good matchups here, but I'm wondering, first of all, is this the type of machinery you might find on the street with some modifications?
Yes, it is, Tom. In reality, these are the hottest of Detroit's high-performance muscle cars, as they're advertised. Dodges, Plymouths, Chevrolets, virtually every make and model represented. However, they're very, very expensive machines to prepare for drag racing. When these pros get through with them, there's really not too much left that originated in Detroit. The rules are very strict, but they do allow some modifications.
We'll see 16 of the best, and they'll eliminate themselves down to 8. And we've got Bagshaw and Landy coming out first, Steve.
Yes, we do. Dick Landy, a professional driver for the Dodge division of Chrysler Corporation. He lives in Northridge, California. All of these Pro Stockers are equipped with 4-speed transmissions, and they're really one of the most difficult cars in drag racing to drive. As we'll see, the driver very busy inside that cockpit. Here's Bill Bagshaw. Bagshaw, also a professional drag racer from North Hollywood, California. Calls himself the Red Light Bandit. Both drivers are away with green starts. A beautiful duel as they hammer the 4 speeds through the quarter mile. Dick Landy by no more than half a car length. Pomona Raceway. Nope, it's Pro Stock, Tom. And here is a rematch from last year. Sox and Martins, Plymouth Barracuda from Burlington, North Carolina, and
Hey, Rob, can you bring that audio up for us?
The Chevrolet fans' favorite of Berwyn, Pennsylvania. These two men faced each other for the title last year and won it. That was the last.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting any audio on these at the moment.
Didn't win. They've won everything since. Grumpy Jenkins is known because of his real dedication more than anything else. You can't really talk to Bill in the pit area. He's very intent on what he's doing.
As this clip's not giving us audio at the moment, we can talk to you as it's going, but you can clearly see Ronnie Socks on the far side of the racetrack.
Okay, and here we see the tree in the right-hand portion of the...
Great, okay.
See the pro start and the two cars leave. A beautiful start. Jenkins may have been out first, but Socks might have let him get away, knowing he could drive around him, and he does. Ronnie Socks. 9:89 the elapsed time for Socks. It's going to take a mechanical failure to beat him. Okay, here is a replay of it. Another pro stock race. The action fast and furious, and from this vantage point, it's very difficult to get a hold of them sometime. In the left-hand lane, Akron Arlen Vanke from Akron, Ohio. Here in the tower lane, a Plymouth Barracuda to challenge him. Vanke is due for a major NHRA event win. He's been runner-up at 2 championships in 1970.
He's got a race on his hands here.
But he pulls it out. Arlen Vanke moving into the semifinals. Dick Landy in the tower lane. In the far lane is Wally Booth in a Chevrolet. Booth from Ohio, Landy from Northridge, California. The Chevrolet fans are on their feet. The Chrysler Corporation products have been ruling pro stock, but look at this, and they'll cheer for this one. Wally Booth. The crowd goes nuts. Wally Booth, the most successful Chevrolet here at the Winternationals thus far. 9:92, and here it is again. Wally Booth and Dick Landy, Booth in the far lane, and he's pulling away inch by inch. A full car length lead, and across the finish line. Wally Booth moving into the semifinals.
We'll be back with more action from the 1971 Winternationals in just a moment.
This race will feature our defending champion car, the Hawaiian of Roland Leong from Honolulu, Hawaii, and the machine just now having its body latched down, Big John Masmanian of Whittier, California, and his driver, Rich Sarunian, who is also his nephew. The Hawaiian being driven this year by young Butch Moss. Moss of Westminster, California. And you can bet just as soon as the snows melt in the east, this team will be headed out on their annual tour, appearing at drag strips all over the United States. That's how they make their living.
I can't compete with that burnout, Steve.
You know, the burnouts really have added an awful lot to the snow, not only as well as helping me elapse time. Generally, at most drag strips around the country, the funny cars will go up to the starting line and do burnouts from the starting line, sometimes almost a full quarter mile and back all the way back up again. Obviously, there's not time for that at a big meet here like the Winternationals.
I was about to comment that at first glance, a funny car just looks like a strange automobile. And then you see the driver sitting right dead in the middle of it, just as if it were any other type of racing machine, and you realize that it's something more than just what you'd see on the city street.
That's true, and even though there's nothing on these automobiles that's stock, not even the body, they're made out of very, very lightweight fiberglass. They're just there's a strong product identity factor. The Chevy root for the Chevy funny cars, and the Ford for the Ford, and so forth. Masmanian, utilizing a Plymouth Barracuda appearing replica of a Plymouth Barracuda. Driver Richard Saroni, strapped in. He's completed his burnouts, and he'll meet the Dodge of Roland Leong, appropriately named the Hawaiian. Inside the cockpit, you can see Butch Moss. Moss moving up very slowly. These machines utilize a 2-speed transmission. They have onboard fire extinguishers and every conceivable safety device. The nitromethane fumes very strong against the mast. An unbelievable wheel stand by Richard Sarunian. Moss blazes the tires to victory. You'll seldom see a funny car stand on the bumper like that, Tom.
Take another look at it, Steve. It is really something.
Incredible wheel stand, especially considering that the drivers think there's a lack of traction. Now, you'll see the front wheels start to go skyward. Sarunian not lifting at all, rocks over, and it may bounce all the way up. There it goes. Almost all 4 wheels off the ground. It could have done some severe damage to that $20,000 car.